Hola, 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 bienvenido, bienvenido. What's shaking, soldiers? Savvy D Jones here. I know I look a hot mess today, but I wanted to make sure that I did do this video today regarding our trip. I think we're going back to North America. I believe. I believe. I believe. I don't have that info. Okay. So let's get started. How are you doing? How's everybody doing? If you weren't aware, I am back in the US for a little bit of a spell. It's been really interesting in returning to Michigan. I'm getting a lot of text and a lot of email, telling me that you know, Americans need to be careful about being outside of the US, for more than 30 days. And I want to assure you that the Americans who are retired can live outside the United States for as long as they want. They need to make sure that their records are accurate, the addresses and different things are in place. If they are having their, they need to make sure that they're checking their mail back in the US so that they don't miss out on some information that the Social Security Department may request of them, just to make sure that they're still alive and that it's still appropriate for them to be receiving checks. So, can we live outside the United States? Yes. Um, and unlike Canada, we're not required to be in the United States for 6 months, and then we can take off and go wherever it is we want to in the world. And I pray that it never comes to that. I love traveling. And so I don't want to have to be in the United States all of the time. I'm a world traveler, and I would encourage everybody to do that. It has been a blessing for me as far as my health and uh, my medical status is excellent. Even my daughter today noticed the weight loss that has occurred since being in Mexico. But there, I've got fresh fruits and vegetables. I have meats that are not laden with chemicals and preservatives and things. And so my body is happy. I'm happy. And so while I'm in the US, I'm making sure that I still try to eat really, really healthy food, as healthy and as fresh as I can get it. I have to I have to be mindful of that. But I am so glad that you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome to your relocation roadmap. And today we are going to go to a country that's actually an island country in the Caribbean Sea and in the West Indies. This country happens to be the largest island after Cuba and the Hispaniola, which is in the Greater Antilles. Now, that's what we say in the US, but in Espanol, it would be the Antillas Mayo, Mayores, Mayores. And so I want to talk about this place called Jamaica. Let me give you a few fun facts about it. Jamaica achieved its independence from the United Kingdom the 6th of August back in 1962. It is 2.8 million people. So it's the third largest populous um, Anglophone country in the Americas and the fourth most populous country in the Caribbean. Kingston is the country's capital and largest city. And so that's what we're going to look at today. And one of the things I really liked was their motto. It says, out of many, one people. And most of Jamaicans are of the sub-Saharan African ancestry with significant European, East Asian, primarily Chinese, Indian, Lebanese, and a mixed race of minorities. So that is what comprises the people of Jamaica, according to Wikipedia. So, without further ado, let's check out the affordability using the Numbeo website, and then we're also going to look at the Earth Awaits. Hopefully, I can find it on the Earth Awaits. So I'm sharing my screen. Let me minimize this a little bit. And let's go to the cost of living in Kingston. So again, remember, Numbeo is the application that I use that other individuals who have traveled to Jamaica have put their information in. And I don't know how much information they have put in there, but let's see. Down here, distribution of expenses, we'll take a look at that. But let's just start at the top here. So the estimated monthly cost of a family of four in Jamaica is going to be $3,408 US. The estimated monthly cost of a single person is about $956. Now that's not including your rent or your housing. Kingston is 47.3% less expensive than New York, excluding rent. Rent in Kingston is on an average 79.2% lower than New York. So let's look at some daily living expenses. In a restaurant, an inexpensive restaurant, you can get a meal for about $8.50. For two people, a mid-range restaurant, three-course meal is going to cost you about 69.26 cents. That's a range of $44.07 all the way up to 125.92. Domestic beer, a pint, is going to cost you about $2.52. Imported beer, about $3.15 for a 12-ounce bottle. Cappuccino on a regular is about $4.33. A 12-ounce Coke, about $1.32. Bottle of water, about 71 cents. So there is the information on restaurants. If you're going to the marketplace, milk, whoa, 1 gallon of milk, $14.38. Woo, woo. It can be from anywhere from $9.53 all the way up to $19.07. We're talking about a gallon of milk, regular milk. Wow. A loaf of fresh bread. Man, is that the truth or is that a typo? But that's the information that's put in. A loaf of bread is about $3.24. Rice, a 1 pound bag is about 73 cents. A carton of the eggs, 12 eggs, is about $3.53. Your cheese per pound, local cheese, is about $4.68. Chicken fillet is about $3.11. I'm still stuck on this gallon of milk, a regular gallon of milk being $14. What's up with that? I wonder why is that? Let's see. If we were to go with a pound of ground beef round, which is equivalent to a leg of red meat, it's going to be about $3.48 per pound. A pound of apples, $2.74. A pound of bananas, $1.40. A pound of oranges, about $1.92. So, other than the milk, I didn't think it was too bad. A bottle of mid-range wine, about $11.33. Imported beer, a 12-ounce bottle, about $3.15. A pack of 26, a pack of 20 cigarettes, Marlboro, is $8.81. Not a smoker, so I don't have to worry about that vice. Let's see, transportation. Taxis, looks like it starts at about $1.10. Taxi 1 mile, a normal tariff is about $5.07. A taxi hour waiting is about $6.30. Uh, gas per gallon, $4.81. Okay. All right, let's look at our electricity and utilities. The basic cost of utilities, your electricity, heating, cooling, water, and garbage, if you're living in a 915 square apartment, it's going to cost you about $156 per month. Your mobile phone plan, if you got 10 gigabytes plus data, is about $22.22 a month. 60 Mbps for or more of unlimited data, $50.48. If you're into sports and leisure activities, fitness club membership for one adult is about $66.11. Renting the tennis court, $15. If you're going to the movies, about $13.22. Now, if you are moving as a family and you have children, the monthly cost for a child in full day in private daycare, preschool, or kindergarten is going to be $79.83. That's a full day monthly for one child. International or primary school for a year, $2,497.45. All right, let's see what a clothing and shoes. Pair of Levi 501 jeans or something similar, 27.28. It can be from anywhere from $12.59 all the way up to $44. A pair of Nike running shoes, $71. Okay. Let's look at rent. A one-bedroom apartment in the city center is going to be about $860.85. That's in Kingston, the city center. If you want a one-bedroom apartment outside the center, it's about $449.31. It can go any range from $314 all the way up to $629. Now, if you need something bigger for a family, you want 3 bedrooms in the city center, it's going to be about $1,893. It can go all the way up to $3,000 for that. Outside the city center, we're starting about, let's see, an average of $1,125.43. You can go as low as $755 all the way up to $1,500 plus. Okay, and that's for the apartment living. You can buy an apartment. So we're talking about, let's see, price per square feet, $262. That's in the center. Outside the center, $203. All righty. So there you have it for the cost of living in Kingston. Now, this tells us the source and references for the information that's been put into the database. This city had 289 entries in the last 12 months by 32 different contributors. And it was last updated in this month in 2025. So let's go down here and take a look at the quality of life. Oh, wait a minute. Before I do that, I do want to look at the wheel. So rent is your highest cost, 32.9%. That is a little above the 30% of your income that you want to make sure that you don't go above 30% of your total budget when you're looking at moving into Kingston. But here it says that it's about 32.9%. Next highest cost is going to rent is 24%. Oh, this is markets. The markets is 32.9%. I apologize. I had that backwards. The rent per month is at 24%. The market is where you're going to be spending most of your money, 32.9%. Well, I guess so, with milk costing as much as it does. What did we say the milk was? Was it like $13? $14.38. That's a lot for milk. That is a lot. at least for me. Okay, let's here are some other places that you can check out in that's near Kingston: Constant Spring, Halfway Tree, Stony Hill, St. Andrew Parish, Marvis Bank, Portmore, Spanish Town, Gordon Town, Easington, and Old Harbor. So those are some other places that you may want to check out in Jamaica. But I do want to go over here and look at the quality of life in Kingston. So people always talk about going to Jamaica. According to this, the quality of life is is low. The cost of living is low at 52.72. Climate index is high at 7. Healthcare moderate at 51.40. The safety index is low. Purchasing power is very low. Property income to price of property to income ratio is very high, 16.93. Traffic commute, very high. Pollution index, high. The quality of life is 80.6. That's very low. Very low. Quality of life is very low. It would be interesting for you that have been there, who repeatedly go back, if you would put your information in Numbeo. If you've lived there for any period of time, it would be great to know your opinion of living in Jamaica. The reason I'm looking at Jamaica today is one of my fellow speaking coaches is considering Jamaica as her place of retirement. She's young, she's in her 50s, and so she's not planning on moving for about another 7 years, but she's doing the research now. And so I told her that today I would check out Jamaica just to see what it is that is probable for her. Let me look at, I wanted to see if there was anything on here about the crime in Jamaica. I don't see it right here. But let's go to the Earth Awaits. And let's search for, let's see if I can search for Kingston in here. Browse. Let's see if I can put in Kingston. It'll take me there. Yep, sure does. Kingston, Jamaica. Oh, that looks so beautiful. That's a beautiful building, if I do say so. That looks gorgeous. Looks kind of colonial to me. And let's see what we got here. Here's another beautiful picture. Looks like it's very walkable. Jamaica looks like it's walkable. I see my favorite trees, the palm trees. Red stripe, okay. Do some little research on that and see what red stripe is all about. This is Kingston. Another beautiful colonial building. Okay, so this is Jamaica, and they're saying that you can live there on a budget of $2,826. Here it is. Okay, so population in Kingston, 592,291 people. Quality of life is low. Quality of healthcare is average. Crime is high at 69. Pollution level high at 71. And the walk score is only 65. So let's take a look at that walk score. So 65 means somewhat walkable. Some errands can be accomplished on foot. So that's your walk score when it comes to Jamaica. Hmm. Okay. Let me get out of here. Um, it looks like there's 7 airports. The farthest one is in Boscobel Aerodrome, which is 30 miles away. The Norman Manley International Airport is about 4.26 miles away. And the Tenzin Penn Airport is 2.07 miles away. Okay, let's look at the weather. What is the weather? The weather I think is probably pretty darn good. People are always wanting to go to Jamaica. Jamaica, Jamaica. So let's see. We are currently in the month of May. So May, the average high is 91. The average low is 77, and the average humidity is about 61%. Goes a little higher in June, July. But the weather looks like it's pretty good in Jamaica. It's in the Caribbean, so I would expect as much. So the freedom score is 75. Political rights, 71. Civil liberties, partially free at 57. The freedom of the net is unknown. Freedom of the press, 81. Corruption perception index is very corrupt, high corruption at 39. Women's equality is 74.1%. Abortion legal for social and economic reasons? Nope. Abortion legal to save a mother's life? Yes. Constitution contains no discrimination clause. That's a check. LGBT rights is not indicated. Same-sex activity is legal? Nope. Same-sex unions legally recognized? Nope. Same-sex marriage is legal? Nope. Same-sex adoption is legal? Nope. LGBT people serve openly in the military? Nope. Anti-discrimination laws concerning sexual orientation exist? Nope. Anti-discrimination law concerning gender identity exists? Nope. At XXXXX all the way down. Unknown for age as far as when you can purchase alcohol. Okay. Legal status of cannabis. Decriminalized up to 2 ounces or cultivation of 5 plants. Legal for Rastafari. Okay, all right. Okay. There we have it for Jamaica people. I had never been to Jamaica. Um, if I were to go, I probably wouldn't go solo. I probably would want to, travel with a group of, uh, friends, lady friends, or to go with my man. Maybe, a couples, 3 couples going together. That would probably be the only way that I would travel to Kingston, Jamaica. And that's just my personal preference. But I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think about taking a trip to Jamaica, Kingston, or someplace else in that country? I love the music. The reggae was, that's home of reggae. So I do love that sound. I love that rhythm. So I would definitely probably want to go for the music and some of the other cultural things. But I don't see myself moving to Jamaica to live. Currently, where I am in Mexico, we have a large group of ladies and gentlemen who have moved to Mexico from Jamaica. And they, the one sister can cook her behind off. I love her oxtail soup dinners that she does. So if I were to go, I would definitely be going for the music and for the food. That is all I have today for Jamaica. I am Savvy Jones. If I probably did not introduce myself when I first came on, and I am the co-living diva and hope coach, helping our people to economically excel. I think that in the times that we are living right now, if you don't have a slide hustle, what is a slide hustle? That's something that you began creating while you're still working. And so when you're ready to retire, you slide off into that thing and it generates you income. It's purpose driven, it's profitable, and it supplements your income so that you're not dependent upon the government. I've always said that I didn't know if Social Security was going to be around, and that you probably should be focusing on building splendid security so that you're not left out hanging to dry, not having the sufficient income that you need to live wherever in the world you want, doing whatever it is you enjoy doing, and being a blessing to other individuals. Okay, that's all I got for you. Until next time, be well, live free, and prosper.